Several lawmakers said they believe the activist was part of the anti-vaccine protests that have continued throughout the week after Gavin Newsom signed legislation Monday cracking down on medical vaccine exemptions. Rich Pedroncelli, Apfoto, Sacramento. The state legislature ground to a halt during today's final session when a protester threw what authorities said appeared to be blood onto the Senate floor while yelling, "That's for the dead babies." A video of the incident posted by Twitter user named @ConnectWithDub shows a woman telling CHP officers, "My menstrual blood is all over the Senate floor," before being detained. The account has videos of anti-vaccine protests that took place Friday at the Capitol. Story continued below. California Highway Patrol officers cleared the floor and investigated the incident, which occurred at 5:14 p.m., surrounding the area with crime scene tape. Late Friday night, the CHP announced it had arrested the protester on 6 charges after she threw a feminine hygiene device containing what appeared to be blood onto the Senate floor. Friday marked the final night of session as lawmakers face a deadline to send legislation to Gavin Newsom. The Assembly resumed session shortly after 7:30 p.m., while the Senate reconvened around 8:45 p.m. in its largest committee room because its chambers remained a crime scene. It was the first time the Senate did not meet in its own chambers since 2001, when a man drove a semi-truck into the south side of the Capitol where the upper house resides. Lawmakers believe the activist was part of the anti-vaccine protests that have continued throughout the week after Newsom signed legislation Monday cracking down on medical vaccine exemptions. Anti-vaccine protesters have been a mainstay in the legislative galleries, holding U.S. flags upside down. They have also targeted Newsom in recent days, crowding around the governor's office while chanting and pumping their fists in protest. Newsom spokesman Nathan Click said the governor's office condemns the act and called it despicable. The liquid thrown from the upstairs gallery hit several legislators, according to the CHP. A splotch was also visible on Senator Holly Mitchell's Los Angeles desk. Senator Steve Glazer Orinda tweeted a picture of a menstrual cup with red liquid inside. He said that Mitchell, Sen. Melissa Hurtado, D. Sanger, Senator Nancy Skinner, D. Berkeley, Senator Kathleen Galgiani, D. Stockton, and Senator Susan Rubio, D. Baldwin Park were hit by the liquid. Upon reconvening tonight, Senate President Pro Tem Tony Atkins, D. San Diego, said, "A crime was committed today, but the Senate will not be deterred from conducting the people's business. We have legislation left to do." Senate Republican leader Shannon Grove, R. Bakersfield, standing beside Atkins, said the person in question is in custody and should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, states Sen. Richard Pan, D. Sacramento, author of the Maine Medical Exemption Bill, CASB 276-19R, criticized the anti-vaccine movement. The incident came 3 weeks after he was shoved by an anti-vaccination protester, Kenneth Austin Bennett, near the Capitol. Bennett was arrested on an assault charge. Like Mr. Bennett, this incident was incited by the violent rhetoric perpetuated by leaders of the anti-vax movement. As their rhetoric escalates, their incidents of violence does as well. This is an attack on the democratic process and it must be met with strong condemnation by everyone, Pan said in a statement. A Voice for Choice Advocacy, which hired lobbyists this year to oppose Pan's legislation, said in a statement on Twitter that it does not now. Civil discourse is the basis of a democracy and this behavior is repugnant, harms our democratic process. "Do not kill our babies," and "Enough is enough," they chanted as they marched the small boxes around the Capitol. Some lawmakers observed the protest from a balcony as session remained on hold. Asked earlier in the day what they hoped to accomplish, protesters said they want Newsom and lawmakers to heed their request to undo the legislation signed into law Monday. 3 activists filed paperwork this week for a referendum on the 2 bills Newsom signed. Mackenzie Mays contributed to this report. This article tagged under, "Let's block ads. Why?"